Hey guys, Ambience here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat Fnaf 1 Night 1 on Fnaf VR Help Wanted. Oh man, that's gonna get tiring to say. That's right, we are back to guides on this channel. I had my fun doing other content and will keep doing that in my spare time, but for now I'm just glad to be back to regular content. There's gonna be a lot more of this coming up after the big charity stream this Sunday, so keep an eye out for that and subscribe if you're new and want to keep up to date with new guides the moment they release. Intro stuff aside, let's jump right into it. Many people tend to assume that the VR version of FNAF 1 is nearly identical to its original counterpart, but there's actually many key differences to be aware of, and it warrants an entirely new set of guides. I'm sure you're well aware of the original setup by now. It's very basic stuff. Check the cameras and lights, close the doors, maintain your power supply. However, even if you are a veteran of the original game, you can still be caught off guard by some of the changes in this mode. Whether you're playing in VR or flat mode, this guide will outline exactly what you need to know to get started in the FNAF 1 mode in Help Wanted. First things first, let's talk about your environment. The office is largely the same, but is a bit more compact than the original version. You have a door and light on either side, your main setup is in front of you, and nothing of use is behind you. On your desk, you have your monitor set up, the clock, and your power indicator, along with a bunch of other random junk. Speaking of that random junk, feel free to grab some collectibles while you wait for the animatronics to move. You can find a tape on the right side of your desk leaning against one of the monitors, a coin directly underneath a cupcake on top of said monitor, and another coin in the bottom drawer on your left. A third coin will eventually spawn inside of the monitor on your right around 3 AM, but you'll have to be quick to grab it. They spawn on all night, so you don't have to worry about them right now if you don't want to, but this is the easiest chance you'll get. I'll probably make a guide later showing how to get all of the coins and tapes, so stay tuned for a slightly more in-depth explanation there. Anyway, back to the game itself. You'll probably want to watch the show stage, which is Cam 1A, for a while. Just leave it there until Bonnie or Chica start moving, don't flip through the cameras until you have to. Since the monitor is permanently on, it doesn't use extra power unlike the original, but changing cameras will use power to compensate. If you happen to be playing in VR and are relatively new to it, use this time to get familiar with moving around in the virtual space or to calm your nerves. Typically, you'll also be able to change your height with one of the thumbsticks. You can get as close to the monitor or doors as you'd like to get a better view, you can press buttons off screen, and a bunch of other stuff. For all intents and purposes, it is like you're really there, so don't waste it and think smart. It might be tempting to peek out of one of the doors and look down the hallway, you can even do this in flat mode, but squash that urge. Why? Because if you do, this will happen. Yeah, it's best to avoid that. You can close the left door right after you peek to block him, but even then this uses extra power, it's usually not worth it. Anyway, around 1 AM, Bonnie will leave the stage. Just like the original, he can teleport around, so keep your eyes open and be ready at all times. Chica will leave shortly as well, but will follow a more straightforward path to you. Once they leave, there's no point in watching the stage, as Freddy is completely inactive this night unless you run out of power. Bonnie is most important to watch, as you may not always hear him walk down the hall next to you. He could just teleport to the door if he's close enough. He can be found in the dining area, the backstage, the west hall corner, or the supply closet. The camera layout is exactly the same as the original and also has labels above each room, so you should have no trouble looking around. Keep track of Bonnie. If you can't find him, flick through all the cameras that he can spawn in. Don't check either of the lights until you hear deep footsteps approaching from either hall, or if you can't find Bonnie for a while. Actually, did you know that you technically don't even need the lights to see Bonnie? That's right, by looking down you can actually see his feet when he's at the doorway in the dark. It's tough to make out, but if you really pay attention, you can see it and save some power. The same applies to Chica in the window, but she may be harder to see. If you're having trouble with that, you may want to turn up the brightness on your device, or lean forward if you're in VR. Or you can just use the lights as intended, of course. This is just an optimization to save more power. Speaking of which, the lights can have another downside besides draining power. If Bonnie and Chica are walking past the doors and you happen to have the light on, they'll slowly turn to look at you. Aside from being quite horrifying, this is also dangerous, as after a few seconds they'll immediately go to the door and jump you if it's not closed. For this reason, use the light in very short bursts when they're walking by. They might be going to your door, but also they might just be going to the corner. If it's the latter, keep a close eye on the door until they appear. If you're in VR, you can also check if they're still in the corner by leaning forward in the office, but remember, don't lean out. For the most part, that's about it. Track Bonnie on the cameras, keep a close eye on your doors, track where they are in the halls when they're close, and shut the door if Bonnie appears in the doorway or Chica shows up in the window. It's pretty easy to tell when Chica leaves, just look out the window. As for Bonnie, it can be kinda hard to tell sometimes, but you can see a shadow on the left wall outside the office through the window. About half of him, anyway. Just look for the bunny-shaped silhouette near your door on the furthest wall. Once that disappears, he's gone. Or if you're in VR, you can just lean forward and look out the window to see his arm next to the door. Don't use the lights too much and only close the doors if you're physically at them, and that should do the trick. Oh, and if you don't feel like tracking Bonnie or if you get late into the night, then feel free to switch to Pirate's Cove. Foxy has a very low chance of rushing you on this night to the point that it's almost zero outside of the specific condition for triggering him, of course, but he does start moving a bit in the later hours. Just to be completely safe, you may want to watch him toward the end. On the extreme off chance he leaves, just shut the left door and don't open it and you'll be fine. The biggest threat on this night is probably panicking and running out of power of all things, especially if you're in VR. Actually, physically being in the office is a whole different environment than playing Fnaf 1 on a regular device, and if you're new to VR, it can actually be extremely immersive. If you get scared, resist the temptation to shut the doors and use up a ton of power, because that'll just get you killed in the long run. Just take a few deep breaths, maybe take off the headset for a few minutes if you're not too late into the night, and come back when you're ready. In the end, it's all just in your head and is a game, even if it feels like you're really there, it's just important to remember that. The next few guides will probably merge some nights together. This is just a simple overview of the basics, both for people playing the game for the first time and people first venturing into the series. Oh, before I forget, as I said near the beginning of this video, I'm doing a huge charity stream for the Trevor Project this Sunday, starting at noon Central Time and going all the way until midnight. If you have time, stop by and keep us all company. It's going to be right here on YouTube, and we'd love to chat with you. I'll be having a ton of guests on during a wide variety of mainly FNAF-related segments, including people such as The Baddest, DJ Sturf, and a whole lot more of your favorite creators. It's a huge event, and you definitely will not want to miss it. Whether you can donate or just share the stream and hang out with us, your presence would be greatly appreciated either way, and donating can unlock some big rewards on the Discord server as well, so there's something in it for you too. It'll be going on for plenty of time, so mark your calendars and check it out. It would mean a lot to me. See you there. Well, that's all for now. Follow this strategy and you should be able to beat the first night of the first mode. How do you think this compares to the original Night 1? Is it more difficult, more intense, scarier, or does the original still win out in at least one of those factors? Are you playing in VR or flat mode? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of which, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below or to join my community Discord server. By joining the Discord server, you can get personalized tips on any FNAF game from myself, TruePlayer, Shooter25, and a bunch of other FNAF experts and content creators. It's a great community and I highly recommend joining. If you'd like updates on all upcoming content and whatever else I happen to be doing, be sure to follow me on Twitter as well. We just crossed 200 followers and counting. Once again, thanks to my good friend Bonnie360 for making the great thumbnail for this guide. He's been putting in crazy work to help supply me with thumbnails for free the past few months. He's really outstanding and he's super good at FNAF 2 with some great completions and max modes. His channel is linked in the description and cards, so go support him. With that being said, thank you guys for watching this guide. I hope it helped you, and I will see you in the next one.